Okay, cool.
Hello, my name is James Sultan.
I'm Rafferty.
And I'm Robert Toscano.
Today we're going to be discussing why Linux should be used in the business environment. So what is Linux? Linux was created in 1991 by Linus Torvalds. It's an open source operating system, and there's also various flavors of Linux distributions, which are also linked to the desktop and server operating systems. So this creates a lot of availability for companies. It's also kernel based, meaning it's rapidly being updated, and the updates go to all the different distribution types. There's also the main reason Linux is praised is because it's also free. It's free on the server-based and consumer operating systems. In comparison to Windows and Mac OS you cannot buy separately. You have to buy it with Apple hardware, such as the mobile phones or the iMacs. A Windows license costs between £100 and £150, and the Windows servers start at £600.
Another benefit of Linux is the security. Privileges can be revoked from each set of users, excluding the root admin user. This can prevent the spread of viruses and serious damage to the core system, which is what the flavors are built off of. Due to the small user base compared to like Mac and Windows, Linux has a small user base, so hackers are less likely to attack it because they'll get more benefit from attacking larger groups such as Windows and Mac due to the larger audiences. Linux developers follow something called the Linus's law, which is when numerous developers work on one task or piece of code, or which can help the development speed up, and it allows several minds to work on one project, so different solutions can be found and used, as opposed to just one developer working on one flavor of Linux. Linux is also very versatile, as I stated earlier. It's got numerous distributions, including some of the popular ones involved in Ubuntu and Debian. It's open source, so it can be changed by every user to fit their needs. This can include GUI changes or something simple, just as customizing security, such as a firewall. One of the Linux distributions is Ubuntu. Ubuntu was created by Canonical, who was a development team behind Debian, which is another distribution of Linux. The aim was to create a free and easy to use distribution of Linux. The developers collaborate with the community, so it's not just the developers working on it, it's the actual users of the system, so they know what the community wants, so they can implement those features. The other distribution I stated is Debian. Debian was developed by the same users as developers as Ubuntu. It's considered the most stable version of Linux, so it's primarily used for servers because servers need a stable operating system. It's mainly secure because the developer's main focus is on the security features, and it's capable of running on any devices, as you can see, mobile phones, games, consoles, and desktops.
It's also very slimlined, meaning it can run on almost any computer with any specifications, which is also great for businesses with older computers and they want to reuse them.
There's a high stability rate of Linux. Due to the system having low permission levels, the users do not have access to the same system sort of files that they do Windows. Therefore, it's less likely that the system files can be damaged by users either accidentally or unpurposely. Also, due to the Linux kernel being more reliable and editable by developers and organizations, it's easier for problems to be fixed and changed when the developers need it. Also, similar to users, applications get low permission levels, which also prevents them applying malicious attacks from applications on the computer systems. Linux keeps the main system's services and programs separate from the programs being used by the user, which prevents the user from using the programs that they are using to gain access to possibly gain access to the system services, or for those applications to maliciously gain access to those services. There are a high amount of gifted programmers who don't work with Windows or Mac. Instead, they work with Linux because they prefer Linux and they specialise with the Linux operating system.
The programmer can also customise Linux to be specific to their needs, whereas Windows and Mac can be quite limited to them.
And also, since the system services and the programs are kept separate, the need for a firewall is also desirable to free up system resources, as there's no need to use the firewall to look over system services while the program's being used.
Furthermore, there are plenty of websites and services available online that offer staff training to organisations who need it, who have recently installed Linux on their computer systems. There are many different Linux trainings opportunities available directly from the Linux Foundation website. On the Linux Foundation website, it's easy to access. It also offers the ability to improve teamwork and skills with the activities that they offer. The training that they offer is cheap and it's more affordable for businesses, especially small businesses who might not have enough money when compared to large businesses. Also, the topics are studied and can be customizable, so different aspects of the operating system can be studied and learned by the staff members depending on their role within their organisation. There are different uses of Linux in a business. It's because the reason why Linux is mainly used in the business is because it's not much of a target for hackers. This means that it's safer to use. Also, there are many different versions of Linux. There are 64-bit, 32-bit, ARM 32-bit, and ARM 64-bit. The normal 64 and 32-bits run on normal PC computers, but the ARM processors are mainly for mobile devices and modern-day laptops, which include high-quality power-saving modes, which means that Linux can basically run on any operating system, any computer system.
And thank you for listening to our presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.